It's time to find out which driver is up to the task of claiming the Chinese Grand Prix. Good afternoon, everybody. We're here in Shanghai. Shanghai International Circuit, then, is a 16-corner high-speed thrill ride. The long and ever-tightening right-hander at turns 1 and 2 tests a driver's patience. The flats, open to the elements location, test their skill in a crosswind. 2 DRS zones will assist passing, and they're available into turn 1 and down the kilometre-long back straight into turn 14.
Good evening, race fans. I'm Pirate with Black Flag Racing TV. And how about that for timing? It's almost like I know what I'm doing. We are about to jump into qualifying here. We are, if you didn't know already, we're with Late Night Racing League on F1 2022. This is round 10. Can you believe we're at round 10 with these guys? It's been a roller coaster. I'll tell you what, I've loved every minute of this. But yes, we've made it to round 10. We're at China for Shanghai Circuit. And it's going to be an interesting race, this one really is. We'll talk about the track in a minute. And it's going to be raining. God damn it. Good evening, Daryl. Thanks for joining us again. Glad I could find somewhere for you to race. It's so much better than racing on your own, isn't it? Racing with these guys. And how you doing, Connor? Good to see you again, my friend. Yeah, so anyone that just thought to watch the stream back a little while ago, we had another race that was in the rain in Interlagos, and there are lots of dead people. But we're in Shanghai in China for this one, 18-minute qualifying. Let's have a quick look where we're at after last week. So, top 3. There's your top 3. Season 6, round number 10. Dunners, the reigning champion, still in the lead. Is there anybody that can bring anything to the table to beat this man right now? Moggy coming in second at 274 points. And Bimmerguy on 209. Rest of the standings look like this. Friendly Dutch and McShmee in the Red Bulls, just outside that top 3. Quick Killers, 196. Blumchum on 193. Riley on a 150. Woolsey 116 and back in between them on 145. And then 8 and others all the way down the order. Obviously, we've got a couple of nice full-time drivers. You think Connor for the win today, Harley? That's your call. Connor for the win. We'll see, actually. Connor has shown a little bit of resurgence, though. Since the F2 tournament, Connor has been chucking in some good performances. But it is raining. And when it rains, all bets are off. That's how we look constructors-wise. Ferrari lead the way. Absolutely all over it at the moment. In terms of what's going on there. I need to just adjust something. There we go, that's better. Yeah, so Connor leading the way. Connor's not leading the way. Ferrari leading the way. Red Bull Racing, Aston Martin, Williams, AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo, Alpine, Mercedes, McLaren, and Haas. Now, can Haas? They're not that far behind McLaren. It would be good to see those Haas boys jump up the order a little bit. We are cross-play this evening, by the way. Usually we're not, but we've got Joseph out there today, and we know that if you've got PC and you're on cross-play, you are 97 seconds a lap quicker than everybody else. Because just PC just gives you that little bit of advantage. We'll see how that turns out anyway. But let's get rid of that, shall we? And have a look who is runners first into the wall. We'll see about that, Connor. The thing is, rain's always good. It's always good for a laugh, really, more than anything else. Look, there was a race earlier at Interlagos, and I predicted losing 3 into the wall at turn 1. We didn't lose anyone into turn 1. However, lap 4, absolute fucking carnage. 3 cars all over the curve of the sun. 14 runners this evening, and we've already got 1 disqualification. Literally, I look up, and Fingers has managed to get himself disqualified from qualifying already. What did he do to get disqualified from qualifying? Seriously, now, what did you do? How did you get disqualified from qualifying already? As Blumchum going purple. Purple like the head of a squeezed penis. Excuse me, if I do sound a bit bunged up, it's because I have a cold. It's been a bit of a week for me so far. I went to the dentist yesterday, had 2 teeth ripped out. Could hardly talk much yesterday. Still had a broadcast plan, couldn't do it though. My daughter cut the top of her finger off. So while they were at hospital, obviously I couldn't. It would be wrong of me to be doing a happy, cheery broadcast while my daughter's in hospital, having her finger looked at by a plastic surgeon. As it turned out, she didn't need a plastic surgeon, but she was going to have her hand strapped up for a few weeks and away from the animals because she has a bit of it missing. And funny enough, we found that bit and left it on the side to look at, and then we dropped it, and we think the dog ate it. So if you never hear from me again, it's because our dog has found a taste for human flesh and has eaten me. I don't know why I'm laughing. I think I've been disqualified from half the qualifying sessions I've ever done online. Half that I've ever done in this game. But you know, those that do, those that can't, don't. You shouldn't wait on the grass, man. Get off just stay off the racing line is really the best way to do it. Right, 5 minutes into qualifying, and where are we at? Fingers is DSQ. Mad Max in the Alpine is on pole, 134.3. Joined on the front row by Moggy, 134.5. Just a couple of hundredths in that. Moggy, of course, Ferrari driver. Ferrari looking to consolidate their position in the constructors, of course. Bimmerguy takes pole as a 134.1 in the AlphaTauri. Moving down Mad Max, moving down Boggy Blumchum alongside Moggy on row 2 at the minute, 134.6. Really close in terms of times, them two, which is good when you're teammates. There is Riley, 135.7. His teammate Wolsey yet to get the time in a bit further down the order, so we'll see what his is. And Ryan with a 136.2 in that Castrol Edge Alpine. So there we go. That's all we've had so far. I haven't got a track guide for this one, mainly because I've done it. That's what I need. I need somebody who's relatively quick. So one of the... So you know, I need a kind of Moggy or a Bimmerguy or a Riley or a Dunners. Someone that's quick and relatively consistent that can record me some tracks, some track guides. I don't know how you're going to do it. It's a bit easier on GT7 because you can save it and share it straight from the game. But if anyone's got the software to do it and a video card and wants to record some laps for me, and then I can edit them into a lap guide, that'd be awesome if we can sort that out. You know where to find me. Look on the Discord and the fucking legend. just find me on Discord, drop me a message, and we'll work out how to do it. If you use my Dropbox or whatever, just transfer the videos or whatever we need to do. If you know, worst case scenario, I can always give you a login for some software to help you do it. But you also need a video card. We'll sort something out. Or I can come in the spectator room while you do some laps. That's another way of doing it. That's actually a really good way of doing it. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. That's actually probably the easiest way to do it. We get a couple of you in and we'll do some laps and then I'll just record you. We'll sort something out. Actually, it could be a punishment for the person who finishes last. Because you want someone quicker than you. So, what a surprise. There's Joseph on pole, 134.0. He's on a PC, so everything's a little bit faster when you're on a PC, of course. Despite the fact that consoles are probably designed to perform better on games. You know, it is what it is. Times are changing. Busy week on Black Flag TV this week. So we're just going through qualifying, so we're just waiting for a few. I don't know who we're doing it on board with. We're doing it on board a bit. So yeah, tomorrow we're back. Season 2 on GT7 of the GT3 racing. It's one of our most popular race series. So popular, in fact, that we are increasing to 2 tiers. At least I think we are. I looked at it earlier, and we were firmly into the 2 tiers of interest column, shall we say. In fact, there's 2 more driver requests coming now. So, or 4 more driver requests because I've got 2 that have been sent by Messenger. So, as we stand at the minute, we have got enough drivers tomorrow at Fuji for 2 lobbies. Simple as. Without those 4, that puts us to enough for 2 lobbies. So, don't know how we're going to do this because I'd like to broadcast both. So, I'm going to have to do some math and see if one group will be prepared to start a little bit later than the other group, and then I can broadcast both. But we'll work out how it's going to be done. But that's essentially it. OpenGR3 Season 2 starts tomorrow. And we've got, yeah, we've got some people, we've got some really, really cool guys involved in that. I tell you what, it's going to be a doozy in terms of pace, because PM10, who does all my track guides on GT7s, and something we were talking about to get done here, he is my stick. He's a GT3 master. He was the GT3 champion when we started. Then Kevin came along and has won it since. But PM10 has been there all the way through. So we'll see how things go on that respect. Then Thursday we're back with Smoking Pirellis, as we always are on a Thursday. Followed by something really cool, which is Impreza versus it's the Super Impreza versus the Lancer Evo. It's a team competition, a little individual competition as well, but it is basically car versus car. Individual results count for a lot less than car results do. That's really cool as well. We're looking forward to round 2 of that one. It's a 9-race series, that is, on round 2 this week. So that's those two tomorrow. Then Friday night we're back with Eurotrips F1, of course, which is another late night race. Then we're off to, where are we Saturday? Oh my god, yes, what are we talking about? So Saturday night, it's midnight on Friday, or Saturday morning, whatever way you want to look at it. It is round 1 of the Porsche Cup, in which we've got at least one black coach driver in Division 3. So Division 3 is at midnight on the Friday, or Saturday morning, depending which way you want to look at it. That is 1 hour round the, I think Red Bull wins the first track, in the Porsche 911 GT. Everyone's in the same car, everyone's in the same spec. Just one mandatory pit stop. Those races are always cool. We've got that. Then on the following night, we've got the Division 2 race, which will be done at a similar time. Division 1 is also available, will be on Black Flag TV. I'm not the commentator for that. That will be done by my good friend, Presidio Dog of GT Champions, or Chris Ball. He will, of course, it will be live, of course, on GT Champions, where it always is, but it'll be live here as well, streamed on Black Flag TV. Do check it out. It's going to be weird. It's going to be weird someone else streaming to Black Flag TV. But cool, it means we're growing. So that's a good thing. Right, so 6 minutes left of qualifying. Where are we at? Mad Max on pole, just put himself in pole. That's a 1:33.7 in that Alpine. That's a really, really good time. I didn't expect to see Joseph get beaten. Joseph is joining him on the front row, 1:34.0. Bimmer Guy down to row 2 in third place in the Alpha Tauri. That's the 34.10. With Wolsey in the Alfa Romeo, 34.129. Current champion, reigning champion and championship leader, Dunners, 1:34.299 in 5th place. With Blumchum in the Ferrari number 1 at 34.3 in 6th place, and Moggy 34.5 in 7th in the other Ferrari. Rounding out row 4 is Beckett in the Alpha Tauri. He is in doing a 1:35.2 on an outlap right now. Ryan on row 5, he is 1:35.4. Just a couple attempts up from Riley in the Alfa Romeo, 35.7. Then we've got the two Haas drivers of error, 36.6, currently driving on the grass, which is absolutely an error. Go on, take out the Rolex sign. Smash straight through it. Go on. Pussy. Mr. J, 37. Didn't mean that. Sorry, man. That was an unnecessary insult. Mr. J in the other Haas, 37.7 in 12th. Connor hasn't put in a time yet. What's he scared of? Good evening. Good evening, Paul. I've just seen your... I don't know if you heard me talking about you. Talking about the GR3 tomorrow. Really looking forward to seeing you. You've done your big car review, of course. You're going to be PM10 Racing will be in the safety car. This safety car, the AMG one, not the shitty Aston Martin one. The Mercedes AMG GT3, which is used as a safety car for F1. That's what Paul will be driving. That's what he has his most success in the GT3 class on Gran Turismo. Looking forward to seeing what happens this season, and he'll be disappointed to know that when it does get split into two tiers, he'll be in the top tier alongside Kevin. So Kevin is the man he's got to beat. But certainly going to be one to watch out for is our resident Stig, PM10 Racing. Not from Hull as I want to describe, but from Bury, which is much closer to Manchester than Hull is. And here's the funny thing is, I said he was from Hull, and I said that about 20 minutes after he told me he was from Bury. Yeah, I heard TJ's dad jumped in this evening as well, and had a little blast in the car. Is it? I suppose that someone else is quicker than me as well, is it? Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, anyone listening or watching this that wants to race tomorrow night in a regular Wednesday night series on Gran Turismo, we've got spaces because it's 2 tiers, and if you're not confident about your performance on Gran Turismo, as we see Connor, can't park there, mate, sort it out. Yeah, if you're not confident with your performance on Gran Turismo, you feel that you're going to be a bit slower, don't worry, because there are some guys that I can beat occasionally that are going to be in Tier 2. Not many, but there are guys that I have beaten in the past racing in Tier 2. So, if anyone that has raced ever can beat me. I'm beatable. I'm thoroughly beatable. I basically, when you see me on a race on a grid, it's like seeing that you're fighting Anthony Joshua. You know that you're absolutely going to beat him because he's rubbish. So that's it. So if you're interested, give me a shout, get involved in our Discord, jump on SimLeague Pro, get yourself signed up. The earlier you get signed up, the quicker I can sort out the groups and sort people into the correct tiers. And you can drive any GR3 car you want. All you got to do is give up an hour time, essentially. But that's it. Boom shaker. Moving on. So, what are we? 2 minutes 38 seconds from the end of quali. 1:33.2 for Bimmer He's looking racy today, is Bimmer in the Alpha Tauri. Gotta like a bit of that. Mad Max with him on the front row. Surprisingly, the PC driver not on the front row. Joseph from row 2. He hasn't raced a huge amount, but when he has raced, my God, he's been quick. He's on row 2 though today with Woolsey from Alfa Romeo. Dunners from Aston Martin is on row 3 with Blumchum. And Beckett splits those 2 Ferrari drivers on row 4 with the other Ferrari, of course, being Moggy. Beckett being, of course... who's he drive for? AlphaTauri. Okay, Ryan and Riley on row 10. Ryan for the Alpine team and Riley for Alfa Romeo. The 2 Haas drivers, Error and Mr. J. Don't drive on driving to Mr. J. Who are really vying. Well, I said they needed... Let's bring this up because I said they needed to get some points today to beat McLaren. There is no McLaren today, so this can get Haas off the bottom of the constructors and above McLaren. Now, if there was anything you had to vie for today, that's got to be it, right? So those 2 guys just need to keep themselves in the race and finish not too rubbishly, but finish well. And they could be pushing McLaren down to the bottom of the leaderboard. How's about that then? Who doesn't like a little bit of a Mighty Ducks story, shall we say? We haven't got long left. Anyone got anything to offer that beats Bimmer in fact, I still haven't done a track run through, have I? Who's going quick? There we go. Let's go on board with Blumchum. So here goes Blumchum powering down as you go through. This is the final turn. Heads you down to the start-finish straight. On that power. It's drifting slowly over to the left-hand side as you cross the start-finish line. You've got that DRS open. You look for the 50-metre board. Get that car turned in. You're not dropping down too much in speed. You actually slow the car more as you turn in. It's kind of slowed really quickly, really slowly, and then you ramp up the slowing down because the turn kind of turns on itself and gets slower and slower and slower. Then you kind of drifting round back to the left-hand side. On the power again, you've got another, and I'll tell you what, it's really, really complicated couple of turns here, which both slow as you go into them. Bimmer finishes on pole, of course, but we're going to finish this on-board lap with Blumchum, see if he can get himself into that top 3. Didn't have a great turn 2, to be fair, but we'll see how it gets on. Heads down here, then you've got this left-hander on the grass again, and that I think is going to be an abandoned lap, which is kind of like a double apex, but he's very much down on his time in a minute. Red. Left-hander here in this sort of reverse stadium section. And then another one of these turns, it just gets a little bit tighter as you go through it. before you can finally get on the power and power round and through for this really long straight that takes you into sector 3. And it's almost like you expect this to be the start-finish straight, but it's not. DRS opens, you drift out to that right-hand side. Don't know why you drift to the right-hand side, but you do. No, you got left-hand turn here, big 180, massive 180. You quickly get turned as quickly as you can anyway. Drifting out to the right-hand side, then up 50-metre board is where you start slowing down, or you do what he did and lands in bits. Bimmer Guy is on pole with a 33.2. Joseph just behind him, joined him on the front row. Mad Max and Ryan on row 2. Row 3 is Blumjump and Wolsey. Then we've got Dunners and Connor, teammates, on row 4. Row 5 is going to be Riley and Beckett. Moggy and Error on row 6, and row 7 will be Mr. J and Fingers, who got DSQ'd for sitting on the grass for too long. And will you excuse me a minute while I try and blow some of this snot in my eyes? I don't really want to do it on the stream for you. That's a bit better. Cleared out the nasal passages a little bit. Yeah, so there we go. That's the rundown. Bimmer Guy, Joseph, Mad Max, Ryan, Blumchum, Wolsey, Dunners, Connor, Riley, Beckett, Moggy, Error, and some other people, Jay, and then Fingers. Just a 14 runners this evening. But we've got a Canadian on the front row today, the AlphaTauri. And Bimmer Guy, it's funny because he's quick. There's no doubt about it, but consistency not always his friend. But today, quick and consistent. So Bimmer Guy from Joseph on PC, and I've forgotten where that flag is. Christmas land by the looks of it, because that's a big Christmas tree in the middle. He's obviously not. Oh, excuse me. Mad Max from Britain, Ryan of course from Britain as well. Blumchum, I'm assuming he's British, I don't know. Wolsey from England, Dunners from Britain, Connor from Barney, Scotland. Tried to Scottish accent, went horribly wrong. Riley from Britain, Beckett and Moggy from the United Kingdom. Error, I don't know. Mr. J, I don't know. Fingers is from Surrey. We should have our own badge because we're that fucking awesome. Surrey people in the house. When we say Surrey, we're actually great at London. Well, he's Surrey, I'm great at London. Although, I think he might be in a London borough as well. Yeah, I think he is. He's either a rural borough or something, or a London borough. I can't remember. Whatever happens, he's not in a posh bit. Neither am I. So here we go. Round 10 at China in Shanghai. And actually, this is the first time I've done a lot of F1 streams. I think this is the first time I've been at Shanghai. I think yes, it is. Well, it must be because I didn't have the intro data and the map and all that. I had to download it today, so I couldn't have been here before because otherwise I would have had it already, wouldn't I? That kind of says it all, really, doesn't it? Other stuff coming up. So I talked predominantly about GT7 because most of the stuff that Black Flag got coming up in the future is GT7. F1's F1. It doesn't really change. It is what it is. But the good thing about GT7, you can do lots of different exciting sort of things in different cars. And coming up in a few weeks' time, we've got the Mighty Mazdas, or Mazda Mutiny as I like to call it. And the premise of Mazda Mutiny is that everybody is in the RX Mazda Roadster thingy. It's just 6 rounds, but it's a team competition only. There's no individual... Well, I lie, there's individual points, but it doesn't count to you. It counts to your team. Not you as a person. It counts to whatever individual points you get goes to your team. And the points are based on overtakes. So you are 4 teams of 3. And you get 10 points for every opposing car you finish ahead of. Only opposing car. So if your team finishes 1, 2, 3, you only get points for the 12 cars behind you, 9 cars behind you. You don't get any for beating your teammates. And you get bonus points for fastest lap. You get bonus points for finishing first. And you also get bonus points for biggest difference between qualifying and finishing position as well. But that, because the cars are very similar, and because the way the teams are going to work is it's going to be, of everybody that enters, the 4 fastest drivers will be automatically seeded separately. A little bit like when you seed for a World Cup match, you kind of move, you split the big boys up. So the 4 fastest guys will, or girls of course, will be seeded separately, and then everybody else will be allocated to a team on a lottery spin. So it does mean the team's going to be a little bit more equal, certainly in terms of the fastest person on that team. You will be able to draft in reserves to cover, but it's down to you to draft in your own reserves. People will be signed up on the reserves list, and you have to nab them first. But that's coming up. So if you're interested in some team-based racing, I know a few of you got GT7. Come on, get involved, man. We've got some great shit coming on this year. All, of course, through Sim League Pro, our partners. And I do not mention our... and to be fair, they don't moan about it either, but I do not mention our sponsors quite enough. So Black Flag is brought to you by Yockham's Machinery, all kinds of machinery. I love it. I love it. I like wet races, but I love it better when it doesn't start raining. So that's the best bit. But thanks for that, Richard. Interesting to know. Yeah, so anyway, sponsored by Yockham's Machinery, all kinds of quality machinery. If you want a tractor or a crane or a digger or a part for as such, and you're in the Netherlands, then you absolutely need to check those guys out. If you're not in the Netherlands and you need it, you're going to have to fly to the Netherlands and then go and get it. And because they are diesel chugging out monsters, we also partner with Clubleaf, who are our sustainability partner. They have an app, and you can find them on clubleaf.com. If you're not in the UK, you can download the app. It's not available in the UK yet, because the UK is nowhere near being ready for anything kind of carbon offsetting. We just pay lip service by putting in electric cars in an area where you can't own fucking electric cars. Don't get me started on that shit right now. But they help you offset your carbon footprint, etc., etc. And of course, Sim League Pro, who help us organise all of our race events, of which there are now about 6 a week for Black Flag. There we go. So let's go on board with Blumchum as we start this race here. That is 5 lights. Last light goes out and we are away. And it is pretty good. Look at that start from Wolsey. Great start from Wolsey on the inside of Blumchum. Blumchum does, though, take that position back. Wolsey could have been more aggressive. Well, he actually was more aggressive. And Beckett also being very aggressive. And we know that rain is forecast in about 10 minutes. So you have to be brave. Very, very brave. And try and make all the moves you can early doors. Joseph already up. And we've lost Mad Max already. Please, no safety car. This was a safety car fest last week. Please, no more safety car. And it doesn't look like we have. Although we do have Mr. J off the track in the Haas. He is back on. So it is as follows. And tyres, let's have a look. If you've got the same information that everybody else has got, that it's going to rain in about 10 minutes, then you will be starting on the soft compound tyres. But who knows? But we've got 2 races here essentially today. We've got 14 laps, and then after this one we have a 28 lap race. This kind of decides a grid for that because it's reverse top 10 for the second race of the evening. So there is Joseph out in the lead, 2.5 seconds clear. Everybody down to Beckett running on the soft compound tyre. And bearing in mind that my inside man, who told me that it was going to rain in 10 minutes, is on medium tyres. A bit confused. Because if they knew, why were they not already on the soft tyres and utilising that soft tyre pace before it got wetter than horse draws? So Joseph, at the end of that 138.5 from him. He leads away in the Mercedes-Benz. It is Ryan, and there's the pit stop strategy for you. If it wasn't going to rain, which it is, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, brother. Ryan in second place. Good performance from him so far. Let's have a look at gains, because that's a big gain for him. A couple of places gained from him. He's up into second. Bimmer guy lost 2 places down into third. Was on pole into third place, but you know, anything can still happen. Connor in 4th place. Don't know why you showed me the pit strategy again. I know it's going to rain, man. Don't need it. Just don't need it. Connor in 4th place, gained 4 places. Already showing a bit of good pace. Beckett's running in 5th place. He's my inside man, telling me it's going to rain in 10 minutes, but then started on medium compound tyres, strangely. Even that on the soft tyre just doesn't hold out for 10 minutes. Who knows? Woolsey started 6th, is 6th. Blumchop started 7th, lost a couple of places down to, started 5th, lost a couple of places down to 7th. As we see, who's that dropping through the order? That's Connor. Can't park like there, son. There you go, that's the correct direction. Off you go. You are special. There we go, he's up and running again. Just behind his teammate Dunners, who is in 9th place, but he isn't anymore, because Mr. J through. So Mr. J up into 10th place, 3 places gained for him in the Haas. And fastest lap for Joseph, 1:36.3. There is Error in 12th place. Fingers 35 seconds back. He's struggling today. Started at the back of the grid. He's only not last because Mad Max is out of this race. But Fingers is not having a good day here at China. Not his best track, clearly. 39 seconds back. He has got 1 place gained, of course, but that is purely because Mad Max is dead. Now, ideally, what he needs to be doing is getting himself up into 10th place. There's a lot of work to do that. 47 seconds back. To get himself up into 10th place now is going to be a big ask. Now, has he got damage? That's the question. I'm trying to look at the car and see if there is any I can see. I can't see if there's any damage. But he's losing a lot of time. Someone that's gaining time is this guy here, Joseph. The only PC user, of course, in the group. 3.7 seconds clear. Of Ryan at 19.95. There is Ryan. That's the view of his car. It is the blip in the distance that is Joseph. And this is the only straight I think he's really going to be able to see him on. You might see him on the start finish straight briefly. That is Fingers in the pits. So he did have some damage, which has cost him, which is why he's now in the pits. Although, it's a shame actually pit a little bit too early because his rain is coming. He might have been served well going on to the intermediates, but a little too early for him. But he's going to come out so last, so very last. Bimmerguy starting on pole in the AlphaTauri. He's up to 3rd. He's got his teammate Beckett just behind him. 6 places gained for Beckett. That's driver of the day performance if I ever saw one. And they're both at the moment kind of tucked behind Ryan, but without a way through. And Ryan doing what they can to hold him off. But how long can he hold off the charge of these 2 AlphaTauris? Because you can see going into the corner how much quicker Bimmerguy has got pace going in. Now actually he's sacrificing his pace coming out because he's so much quicker in. What he needs to do here is maybe scrub off a bit of speed going in to give himself a better line coming out, which gives him a better run at Ryan coming out of the corner. You see how I know about these things, I just can't do them. Like there, Ryan had a good exit and Bimmerguy not much better. So maybe it is about sacrificing your entry speed here, just a little bit, to find that extra impetus as you get out of the corner. But at the moment, Ryan being very difficult to pass and putting the car in all the right places. But that was a much better exit, and this is where Bimmerguy makes the move. He pulls out of that slipstream. They are side by side, rear wing open on the DRS. How is he not passing with the DRS? Doesn't make any sense at all. But he's got the inside line under braking, gets the move done, but only just. That was close, and Ryan back at him again. How is Ryan doing this? And now we've got Beckett trying to make a move on his teammate. It is all going off here in a minute with these 3. And this is Beckett. Now we're on board with Beckett. He's got 2 targets here, and he's using DRS, he's using slipstream. Just get back out of it a little bit early. Can he capitalise on this battle? Bimmerguy does get the move finally done. And Beckett having to back out at the end of that long sweeping turn 1. Such a difficult turn. Probably the most complicated turn in the F1 calendar for me. The rest of the racetrack, I love that turn, not so much. And here we go into, just coming around into sector 2. We've got Beckett trying to close down, trying to get himself into that top 3. But Ryan holding on so well. Joseph, 4.6 seconds clear at the moment, and clearly dominating. He's going to start this next race in 10th place. Of course, unless he crashes, which is a very possible scenario. But Bimmerguy, although he's passed Ryan, not able to lose him. And Now, it's a question of whether he's going to resign himself to the fact that 4.5 seconds to Joseph up front is a little bit too much of a task, or can he force Ryan back into Beckett? Bear in mind that Ryan ahead is on the soft compound tyre, Beckett on the medium compound, Bimmerguy of course on the soft as well. So it is going to be difficult. There is a bit of DRS for both, but this time, great run from Beckett. They go side by side up into this final second or penultimate turn. And Beckett does get the move done up the inside. And there he is, just ahead of Ryan into the top three. The two Alpha Tauris get their work done. And we're here, just coming up to the halfway point. And Ryan into the pits. He's chosen to go in early. He's gone for the undercut. I think this might be a good move. Excuse me. Didn't need to hear that, but I couldn't be bothered to so. Sending out my germs across the world. The new pandemic. It's called the Black Flagiditis. And you've all got to stay home and watch sim racing streams for 6 months. And the government will pay you to do it. Kind of makes me want to be a chemist now. Yeah, I can see it now. Rishi Sunak standing up and saying, "Yeah, we're going to appoint Boris as the disease czar," and his advice is to stay at home for 6 months and just do sim racing and watch Black Flag streams. Fingers is now 1 minute 54 seconds back. He might as well have just started the race. He's so far back. Yeah, that's a long, long way, my friend. Long, long way. Mr. J, 21 seconds off the back of Blumchummer. He's not having a good day, Mr. Blumchummer, at all in that Ferrari. Down in 11th place. Connor in 10th. Started relatively well. Not going so well quite so much now. Wolsey down 3 places in 9th place. Ryan down 4 places. He has been in the pits, though. Most of these have been in the pits, to be fair. Let's just show you which ones have been in. So it's it doesn't look quite so bad. They've all been in the pits, of course. The soft tyre runners, of course, all been in the pits. Joseph in now, Bimmerguy and Riley in, changing out for the medium compound tyres. Now we were told that 10 minutes in it would rain. It's not raining yet, so not such an accurate weather report is that. So that frees off Beckett into the lead of this race. Once they go in, it'll be good to see where the likes of Ryan come in to it, because Ryan is into the pits again. Is that to repair some damage, I wonder? Excuse me, I do need to have a good blow. See what a trooper I am. So I've got man flu. I'm literally dying here, and still I turn out to do these races for you. That's what an upstanding chap I am. I should be laying down, cuddling a hot water bowl and watching man TV, like Alive or Chicks with Guns or something equally manly. But no, here I am with you. And there is Connor out of this race. Halfway point of this first 25% race here. Of course, we've still got the feature race to come. That will be set from the top 10 reverse grid. We lose a couple more out of this race, and the grid will be right there for us to see without any problems at all. But there is your leader, your current leader, Beckett. He will need to pit at some stage. I would suggest that after this safety car is probably, or during the safety car is probably the best time to do it. Because we've lost Connor. Connor's had a crash. That's brought out the safety car. So in should go Beckett. My dog is licking my leg and he's she's enjoying it so much. She actually just dribbled on my foot. I don't quite know what you're after there, dog, but what? He's looking at me weird. Okay. Yes, I don't want my dog to eat me anymore. Right, so Beckett chose not to come in. That is going to prove, I think Beckett, Moggy and Dunners didn't pit under the safety car. it's going to cost them. Surely it's going to cost them loads and loads of time by not doing that. Or are they confident? Are they still confident in this wet race thingy? Because it's not rained yet. We've only got 6 laps remaining. Surely, even if it starts raining now, it's going to be a couple of laps before we go even into Inter's territory. You've got to go into pits, lads. Everybody else has been in. Surely, by staying out, you're basically asking to finish last. Well, you won't finish last because Fingers is so far back that you could stop, leave the ground and go for a smoke and come back in and still be ahead of him. But, come on lads, what is going on? If the safety car doesn't come in, I think you guys are going to have to bite the bullet and come in now, because it's going to save you the most time if you come in now. But if we see those dreaded words, safety car in this lap, you boys are in trouble, I think, because you're still going to have to stop. So safety car, looks like the safety car's staying out. There is still no word. Are these guys going to do the sensible thing? Well, no is the answer. Apart from Moggy and Dunners. They've made the wide decision. They know, look, they've already cost themselves a lot of time by not going in earlier. Do they want to cost themselves more? And the answer to that question is no. Beckett, however, big trouble, my friend. Richard, you have cocked this strategy up big time, and I think you knows it. To be fair, Moggy and Dunners are only marginally smarter this time round, although we've got Error's gone into the pits now, and Fingers. So you've gone for the Inters. I see it. Okay, it makes sense why you've held out now and gone for the Inters. But is it going to be wet enough for Inters? That's the big question. Is it going to be wet enough for Inters? It certainly doesn't look wet enough right now. Yes, I mean, you know you've got rain forecast. It could be you're making a massive gamble. I think if you're going to make that gamble, then yeah, it's probably the only time to make that gamble. But you know, there's only 5 laps remaining. You're relying on this safety car coming in. Or actually, are you relying on the safety car staying out for a lengthy period of time and the track getting wetter? Well, safety car is in this lap. So we're about to find out if putting the intermediates on when you did is a stroke of genius for Dunners, Error, Mr. J, Fingers, or complete idiocy. Now, we've seen Dunners put on soft compound tyres when everybody else was running Inters, everybody else, and he went on to win that race. Has he pulled out another masterstroke of strategic genius, or is Moggy on the soft tyres the clever one? Or even better still, is Beckett the super smart one, because he's waited and stayed on the mediums for a little while, knowing that everybody else behind him up to Dunners is going to have to go in. That's actually, I'll tell you what, I think that's as big a gamble as going in. So Beckett has done the kind of opposite gamble to Dunners. That they've gone on the intermediates and hoping that they get the track gets wet quickly enough and they can capitalise on it. Beckett has stayed on the mediums in the hope that the track gets wet and everybody else has to go in, and he can go in from the lead, and it helps him. So here we go. Safety car is in and we are away. This is lap 10 just beginning. Beckett leads from Joseph, from Bimmerguy. Ryan in 4th place. Riley in 5th. His teammate Wolsey is running in 6th place with Blumchum just behind him in 7th. They're all on the medium compound tyres. Then we've got Moggy. He's on the soft compound tyres behind Dunners, and he's already made the move on Blumchum, and Bimmerguy making the move on Beckett. So Beckett dropping down the order despite being on the quicker tyre. This could be problematic if his plan was for staying in front and then putting on the softer tyre or the more appropriate tyre, and loses another place to Ryan. So Ryan diving through on the medium compound tyre. Is this costing Beckett too much time? At the moment, Dunners, Error, Mr. J and Fingers all on the intermediate tyres, not falling too far back, but let's be honest, not setting the world on fire either. And I have no way of assessing the rain really from here, but unless I can really go, you can see it just falling. But surely, in your spectator mode, this is something you more like to have access to than tyre deck and stuff like that. I should be able to go in here, and it should go. It's fucking raining, mofo, but it doesn't. So there we go. We can see that it's wet. Is the track wet enough for inches yet? Probably not, because they are dropping time. But how much time are they dropping? That's the question. Well, we know Dunners has no slaps, but he's only 1.4 seconds back. And who's that going into the pits now? That's Joseph. Joseph is going in for some intermediate tyres. Bimmerguy stays out. Ryan stays out. Joseph into the pits. Beckett into the pits. Beckett held out during the safety car, and actually losing so many places early on has not made that work for him in the slightest. Moggy is on the softs. Now, if Moggy can, if this track doesn't go super wet, super quick, Moggy can actually be in a really, really good position here. Particularly if the guys out front aren't confident with the car and the tyres. We said it was forecast 10 minutes. It actually took a little bit longer for the rain to come our way, and kind of threw people off a little bit. But that is Mr. J. He's in the pits again. He's on the intermediate tyres already. A little bit confused why he's gone on again. So Bimmerguy is your leader. He's on the medium combat tyres. He's 3.2 seconds clear. And is he going to come in this lap, or does he still? I mean, he's building up a gap, so he still feels that he's got the grip. As Moggy makes a move up into third place. Those soft compound tyres are still working quite well, although the track now is starting to look a little bit moist. And I know people out there don't like the word, but oh no, it goes horribly wrong, and he goes round and round and round. So it is time. It is time. I don't know what happened to him, mate. All I know is that 1 minute he was driving, the next minute we had a safety car, and he was out. So that answers that question, Harley. I don't know is the honest answer. What I do know is that the intermediate tyres, it's time. If you're not on those inters, you are in big, big trouble, because we've just seen Moggy spin on the soft compounds. Bimmerguy stayed out on the mediums. 5 second time penalty for Ryan, who's just lost out to Dunners as he's gone into the pits. Dunners is going to win this race. There's no question about it. He's got Error behind him, although saying now, Error is only 2.9 seconds back. And you know what? I've watched this entire season where Error and Mr. J have been knocking around at the back, and often finishing, which is certainly better than not finishing, but often finishing near the back. I 100%, I want Error to finish in the top 3 here, because I really think he deserves it. I think Mr. J should finish further up. It hasn't really worked out quite so well for him, but Error's up there in the Haas. This would put the Haas team above McLaren in the Constructors' Championship. And I know as a commentator I'm supposed to be impartial, but let's face it, Sky commentators spend so much time sucking Lewis Hamilton's cock. Maybe it's actually not that necessary. So I'm going to be completely partial and say I'm rooting for Error to finish in the top 3 here. We're lap 12 of 14, and I'm going to cheer him across the line as well. Just purely because he's never really up there, and he bloody deserves it. Backmarkers love a backmarker, you see. We love an underdog. But Dunners, I tell you what, if there was any doubt before today why Dunners was the reigning champion and why Dunners was at the top of the leaderboard, that doubt is out of your mind now. Strategic brilliance. He was the only one really at the front runner. So him and Moggy went in. They'd already left it a little bit late under the safety car, in fairness. But then they went in and one put on soft compound tyres. That was Moggy. Okay? And it worked for 1 lap. They went horribly wrong. Dunners went in for intermediates, and it didn't work for 2 laps. And then it went very, very right. And there he is, in the lead, 3.3 seconds clear of Error. On lap 13, just the 2 laps to go. The lap he's on, and 1 more. Error, 3.4 seconds back from Dunners, 7.1 up from Joseph. Now, we know Joseph's quick, but I don't care how quick Joseph is. There's no way, unless Error makes a mistake, that Joseph is closing down that 7 seconds over 2 laps, surely. Especially bearing in mind there is a lapped car in between, and that is Fingers. So, Yes, Fingers will get out. Of course he will get out of the way. We know he will. But actually, Fingers is not out of this now. It's 4 laps on those intermediate tyres. He's only 16 seconds back from Mr. J. And he will not give up at this stage. The irony here is, Mr. J makes up 1 place. He finishes first. His teammate will finish somewhere near the middle of the pack. But a great result from Error. Although it's probably better for him to finish further forward. But who cares, man? This is a great performance. So Dunner's 4.4 seconds clear. He's literally coming up to the final sector here, where he'll get on the power. He's opening up from Error. You know, I see Joseph can catch him, but the gap is coming down. It was 7 seconds at the beginning of this lap. It's now down to 4.6 seconds. The fact that Fingers is between them is probably the only saving grace at the moment. But whether that lasts or not, I don't know. So it's Dunners from Error from Joseph. Bimmerguy starting on pole is down in 4th place. Beckett, who was in a great position in pole and opted to not pit. Everybody else up to that stage had pit. He stayed out. I think he got it wrong. I think if he'd followed Dunners in and gone for the intermediate time, which at the time probably seemed like, I thought it was a bit of a mad decision. But if he'd done that, he would now be winning this race. Ryan in 6th place, Riley in 7th, Blumchum is in 8th, Woolsey in 9th, Moggy is running in 10th place. He went for the soft compound tyres, big mistake, didn't work out for him in the slightest. Mr. J in 11th, and Fingers is in 12th. We lost Connor, we lost Mad Max. And Connor brought us a safety car. Here we go, lap 14. Dunners, master genius of strategy, in the lead. 5.7 seconds clear. Joseph only 2.9 behind Mr. J. Sorry, Error. Come on, Error. Keep that man at bay. And high five your team, meet Mr. J. I was looking for something wrong. But that is a great performance there from Error in that top 3. And it's purely because he pit at the right time for the right tyres. It's not about how you pit, it's about when you pit as well. And he did the right thing. And now, there he is. He's got 2.2 seconds on Joseph. Only a few corners left to go. He's still got a back marker between them. Yes, Joseph is going to close down this gap and absolutely go charge him. But I don't see how he's going to catch him. As we will see Dunners round this final or penultimate corner to the left-hand side. There he'll go, head down. He'll cross to the right-hand side of this track. Grimy joining for the final race as well. So that'll bring us up to 15 drivers. There we go. There is Dunners. He's going to win this race. Genius master. You didn't have to be quick. You just have to be smart. And there we go. Smart wins it. Error comes home in 2nd place. What a result from Error. Get in there, my son. Love to see a back marker picking up big points. Have it. Large. Joseph. PC wasn't so much of an advantage today, finishing in 3rd. Bimmerguy in 4th. Beckett finishing in 5th place. Ryan in 6th. Surprising actually, because these 3 guys were looking pretty strong at different stages in this race. Riley from Blumchum, from Woolsey, from Moggy, then Mr. J, then Fingers. But this is your winner, and master stroke of strategy. But this is the man that deserves all the accolades. This is the man that deserves driver of the day. Started near the back of the pack, strong and steady wins the race, which is what Dunners did. But strong and steady can also gain you a lot of friends, and I'll tell you what, Error has done exactly that. You know, look, when you are one of the back markers, of which I am one, and it's not because I'm. Look, you put me in some of the daily races, so I'm pretty much comparable with the guys around me. Unfortunately, I happen to be in a race team full of fucking aliens. So, yeah, I'm pretty slow. But, yeah, you go. Driver of the day, absolutely thoroughly deserved for Error. Double their ads points just for getting driver of the day. That's what I'll say. Congratulations. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So, there's your winner, Dunners, extending his lead at the top of the championship. And Error taking the Haas team off the bottom of the Constructors' Championship and above McLaren, who have no representation today, and we've only got 2 races remaining. Do I have the calendar available to show you? That's the question. I do not, so I'm not going to show you. So we can have a look. Oh. Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what? I'm looking at Discord and all the accolades. No one gives a shit about Dunners. All the accolades are for error. Fastest lap was from Joseph, and that was a 1:36.3. But that was on soft tyres. The only person even close to that was the Scot Connor, 36.6. 36.9 from Beckett. But there we go. Just goes to show that when it's wet, strange things happen. Just much like with women. So it was Dunners from Error, Joseph from Bimmerguy, Beckett from Ryan, A. Riley from Blumchum, Wolsey from Moggy, Mr. J, Fingers, and then we lost Connor and Mad Max. And I think we've got Grimy joining us for race number 2, if I remember rightly. All the accolades go to Error. A great performance. An early switch to Inters, proving to be the masterstroke that it absolutely was. Back with you very shortly for the next one.
It's time to find out which driver is up to the task of claiming the Chinese Grand Prix. Good afternoon, everybody. We're here in Shanghai. Shanghai International Circuit, then, is a 16-corner high-speed thrill ride. The long and ever-tightening right-hander at turns 1 and 2 tests the driver's patience. The flats, open to the elements location, test their skill in a crosswind. 2 DRS zones will assist passing, and they're available into turn 1 and down the kilometre-long back straight into turn 14.
Right, back from the little break. I think everyone's coming back shortly. Ready for 28 more laps around China. Yeah, you got to say, Paul, what a race that was. An error. Absolutely, fundamentally deserved that. What a brilliant drive. Especially knowing Joe. I mean, to be fair, I see Joseph coming at that kind of pace behind me. I'm stacking it as I'm shitting a brick going through a wall. I'm a little bit concerned. I'm looking up and down this connection status order, and everybody's got an awful connection. I hope it doesn't affect the lobby too much. Only me and Grimmy and Mad Max seem to have a very good, stable 4 or 5 bars. Although even I've got 5 bars now. Or 4 bars now, whatever it is. Mental. I don't know if he's watching, but welcome, Graham, to the Black Flag Discord as well. Just joined us. I've known Graham for some time through football. Always knew him. I have a feeling he's going to be quick. He's just joined us on GT7. He's been on F1 for a while, but he's just joined us on GT7 and joined the Discord. And I have a feeling that once he's got the hang of it, there's going to be some boys around the front that are going to have someone to contend with. Because Graham is no slouch, I've heard, when it comes to racing. But welcome, mate. And yeah, just give me a shout on the old blower if you have a problem doing anything. Yeah, I know, like me, I struggled with the Discord when I first joined as well. So, here we go. It is 28 laps around China in this evening's feature race. It is reverse top 10 grid, of course. What else would you expect? We've got one additional driver from the first sprint race. We now have a Grimmy. Is it Grimmy or Grimy? I don't know how it's pronounced. It's got 2 I's and 2 M's. So I would say Grimy. Congratulations to Error. What a drive, Error. If you're half as good this race. Now, the question is, we know the last one was a rainy race. Is this one a rainy race? Or is it going to be just balls out racing on soft compact tyres? Because if it's going to be racing tyres, you know that we can't really look past Joseph. We can't really look past Connor. Connor wasn't doing too bad. Bimmerguy was quick round here. Dunners obviously was quick round here. Beckett was doing really well around here as well. There's quite a few drivers that were doing really well, and it went horribly wrong for in the rain. So, question. Is it going to be something different this time or more of the same? That's the... yeah, that's the question. So here we go. Formation lap ensues, obviously, first. We'll get that done and dusted. Moggy will lead everybody out, of course, on the formation lap. And then we will have 28 laps of action. So it was a really good 14 laps in that last race. Different kind of race this time out. You know, we've actually got people like Ryan Beckett and Bimmerguy who were really strong before the rain came down. 5th, 6th and 7th. They're going to be putting the frighteners on Riley, Blumchum, Wolsey, Moggy. And it is 2 Ferraris and 2 Alfa Romeos in the top 4 at the moment. We know how good the Ferraris are. No, there's no doubt. I mean, you only have to look at that to know how good the Ferraris are. They're the current leaders in the Constructors' Championship. And they're currently sitting 1st and 3rd. So there's no question that those guys can race. There's no question that the Alfa Romeos are kind of there or thereabouts, kind of nice, comfortable mid-table. Now, in terms of Red Bull, we don't have any of the big Red Bull runners out there today. In terms of Aston Martin, we've got Dunner and Connor out there today. They can close that gap on Red Bull. They certainly already, Dunner has already done a massive job towards doing that. We know that Error in 9th place did exactly what was necessary to get Haas to beat McLaren there. So that gap's gone. McLaren now are bottom of the leaderboard. And actually, we've got Mercedes and need to be a little bit worried. Obviously, we've got Joseph in one of those. We've got Grimy in the other one. We know Joseph's fast, but he's going to have to make his way past a field of 7 drivers in front of him in order to get there. Now, strategy-wise, 2-stop is probably your best strategy, but I suppose it depends on safety cars. Let's go on board with... Who should we go on board with? I was going to go on board with Beckett, but he's DSQ. Let's go on board with Bimmer. There we go. This is what it looked like from Bimmer's perspective. The lights will go on soon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. And we are away. And that was a good start for the AlphaTauri of Beckett. Good start for the AlphaTauri of Bimmergo. What a start. Look at Joseph. Absolutely nitrous. And that was who? That was Wolsey facing the wrong way. You can't park that there, man. And let's have a look. There is Wolsey facing the wrong way. And who else? Moggy facing the wrong way. Wolsey facing the wrong way. Not Bimmer guy, Blumchum. So the 2 Mercedes and an Alfa Romeo, all in the top 3, absolutely disappeared. And that just leaves Riley to fuck off up the road on his own. But devastating for the 2 Ferraris. Devastating for the Alfa Romeo of Wolsey. And you've got to say, watch it into turn 1, people, because that's where it all goes wrong. Connor and Joseph, big movers. Grummy, big move for him. He's up 8 places. 9 places gained for Connor. 5 places gained for Joseph. He's got himself into that top 3 already. Riley's gained 3 places up to 1st. The 3 cars in front of him all just decided to have a little fundamental feel up together and disappear. And off they went. But Wolsey already starting to put the frighteners on that Blumchum Ferrari in front of him. Is there damage on Moggy? Is there damage on Blumchum? Is there damage on Wolsey? That's the question. You would argue that because of the pace, Wolsey seems to be doing all right considering. Mr. J in 14th, Error in 10th place. He's lost 1 place. His heroics in race number 1. Surely the adrenaline must be coursing through his veins. Who else are we looking for? A. Riley, that's a great fast lap from him. Just trying to open up that gap from Ryan if he can. Tyres, what tyres? Tyres. That's what we want to know. There we go. Soft tyres for Joseph. His intentions are clear. He wants to get in and out in front as quickly as humanly possible in that Mercedes-Benz. And we know that he can drive a car a little bit. Just a little bit. But as we see him trying to make that move round the outside, Ryan just holding him off in the Alpine. He's having none of that shit. But Joseph just relentless and does make the move now. He's got that inside line. Can Ryan come back at him? Can Connor get involved in the battle? Doesn't look like it. Joseph up to 2nd place. The gap to Riley, 6/10 of a second. What has Riley got to keep the on-rushing Joseph at bay? And I'll tell you what, Joseph on soft tyres with his peers nowhere near him is a very, very dangerous prospect on a racetrack, because once he gets clear air, he will absolutely melt the shit out of you. And 2-stop is a soft, medium, medium and hard if you're going for the 1-stop. It's clear what Joseph is already planning because he's on the soft compound tyres. Everybody else keeping their options open. I think it's very dependent on, number 1, the weather, number 2, safety cars. And bear in mind that we've had in this series. 7 safety cars in the race before. Let's just be clear that it can't get much worse than that. And there is Joseph, confirms the fastest lap, and that gap down to 0.3 of a second as he closes in. And this turn, it's a wonderful turn, but such a complicated one to do because it's probably the only corner in the world where you fast in, slow out. The idea of most corners is slow in, fast out, but not turn 1 at China. That's fast in, slow out, because you start pretty quickly. And the same with this one as well. It's another turn where not quite as bad as turn 1, of course, but here we go. He's starting to try and reel Riley in. He's already opened up a bit of a gap from Connor. He's got himself ahead of Ryan. So Ryan dropping through that order. Beckett and Bimmerguy kind of stuck in 5th and 6th in a minute, not making too many inroads. Dunner's up to 7th place. Good heroic drive. To be fair, I kind of understated Dunner's performance in the last race. And not because it was rubbish, but because errors was just such a big achievement. But even still, this is why Dunner's just making that move up into 6th. This is why Dunner's is the reigning champion and does need this thing because he can get this shit done. And here we go. Joseph has a great run. There is DRS. It's open. He's side by side. There is nothing Riley can do other than Schumacher him into a wall, and he's not going to do that. So Joseph takes the lead in this race. Now the question is, how much gap can he build before he has to pit? And make no mistake, this boy's pitting first. He's pitting before anybody else does because them's the brakes when you are the only one on the soft compound tyre. And it's whether he has a safety car to help him do that or not. That's the other big question. And just opening that can of Pepsi to keep myself lubricated because boy, my throat is hurting today. And hopefully I don't lose my voice as well because I've got a shit ton to do. And look, I'm not very religious, but if you want to pray for me, I'm going to have a house full of children on my own tomorrow because we're relying on friends to take my daughter to have her top stuff on. Purely because my 8-year-old got back to school, got the top of her finger off yesterday, practicing her knife throwing skills. That bit might not have been true. She wasn't actually practicing her knife throwing skills. She was cutting some cucumber with a machine designed to be safe. But she dropped the little guard, and then, yeah. Well, the rest is history, as was the top of her finger. When I say top of her finger, I don't mean that. I mean, like, it basically straightened it off. It's no longer rounded at the top. It's now a square finger. So, Joseph in the lead. He's just built out to a second lead. At the back, there's Mr. J, 5.3 seconds back from Beckett. Beckett not having a great race this time out. He was so quick in race number 1. But didn't work out this time. He is back in the AlphaTauri in 14th place. On the hard tyres though, so maybe running along. 1.6 seconds back from Fingers, who is significantly improved on race number 1. He's not quite as shit this time. 3 seconds is the gap, 37.5 from Joseph there. 3.1 Fingers is behind Moggy. Now Moggy, Blumchum and Woolsey all had some sort of shenanigans in turn 1 because we got to turn 1 and they were in the lead. We got to turn 2 and they were not. They are 10th, 11th and 12th. Moggy 6.1 behind Blumchum, who is crawling all over the back of Woolsey. Whether that be to overtake him or just to catch him up and whack a finger in his face and go, what the fuck did you do? We didn't see it, so we can't make a judgment. But it is what it is. Woolsey 3.4 back from Mad Max, who in qualifying was very quick, but not been quite so hot in the race. He is 4/10 back from Error, who is today's hero. Well, today's hero that decided that's not the racetrack, mate. You should know which bit of the racetrack is because you did quite well in the last one. Stick to it, man. Stick to it. He does lose out to Mad Max. Mad Max goes through. Blumchum makes that move on Woolsey up into 10th place. Woolsey has to just suck it up. Blumchum using all of that ERS to get past. Woolsey's safe some though. Does he come back at him? Where is Woolsey? Woolsey dropping right down. What happened to Woolsey? Bye-bye Woolsey, because he's now down in 14th. And you blink and you miss it. You really do. Well, I do, because I'm slow. Did I just see someone else on the racetrack now? It does look like Beckett is starting to make that move on Fingers. He's 3 behind him. This is the view from the back of his car. And there is Beckett in the AlphaTauri with a much better exit there. This is not the best race for figures at all. And there goes Beckett in the 69 car up into 12th position. Error running in 9th, Mad Max is ahead of him. Grimy, as we see Bimmerguy and Connor dropping down behind Dunners. Dunners moving up to 4th place. Grimy in 7th, that's a big jump for him. 5 laps on those medium tyres so far, as we're on lap 6, but he's made a massive jump from the back of the packers, Grimy, into 7th place. There's Bimmerguy, pole sitter from race number 1. He's worked his way back up in the AlphaTauri to 6th. His teammate at the moment, Beckett, just pulled the move on fingers, but he's down in 12th place. Connor in the Aston Martin, just behind his teammate, just under a second behind his teammate Dunners, who is running in 4th place. Dunners, of course, the winner last time out, so that's 6th place game for him. As he chases down at top 3, just 6/10 now behind Ryan 1995, who 1.9 seconds. So Riley actually sticking with Joseph. We know Joseph's quick. Joseph's on the soft combat tyre, remember, but Riley only a second behind and kind of sticking with him. So you have to question whether that's the right strategy. Who have we lost? We've lost Mr. J, and that's given us a safety car. Or is it a virtual safety car? Let's have a little looky-see. We're waiting for a little sign. I saw the sign and it opened up my eyes. Wolsey, where is Wolsey? He's looking for Mr. J. He's going to come around. Mr. J's going to be on his left-hand side. Let's have a little look if we can see him. We can come down there. There is Mr. J. He's in the gravel and in the wall. This is ground control to Mr. J. He's gone. Mr. J is out. He is a no more J. He is an ex-J, ex-racing driver. Bye-bye. There we go. So here we go then. Full safety car. Dunner's just coming around to pick it up now in the lead of this race because Riley, Ryan, Bimmerguy, Grimmy, Moggy and Fingers have all jumped into the pits. Grimmy and Moggy are back out on the soft compound tyre. Joseph obviously went in as well. He's come back out on the medium compound tyre. And to be fair, slap bang in the window for the soft tyre runner. So really fell into Joseph's lap there, getting the safety car when he did. And anyone can see PM10 Racing in the chat. See that car in front. If you want to watch him drive that quickly tomorrow around, where are we tomorrow? Around Fuji, the Fuji International Raceway. Join us on Black Flag TV tomorrow from 7:45 to watch PM10 Racing drive that car very fast around a Japanese track, just across the little water from here. So where are we? Lap 7. Lap 7 in this feature race for Late Night Racing. We are around 10 of 12 laps. 12 laps? We're not. It's 28 laps. We're around 10 of 12 here at Late Night Racing. Then we are, where are we next? Race schedule. We've got, oh my god, we're at literally the worst racetrack on the history of racing. We're at Paul Ricard. Nobody likes Paul Ricard. Even Charles Leclerc doesn't like Paul Ricard. Even Jacques Chirac doesn't like it. Gerard Depardieu hates it. And everybody that's French hates Paul Ricard, right? But F1 love it. And yeah, that's where we are next. And it's for sprint quality. So let's have some fun next week at Paul Ricard. No, it's a fucking shit racetrack. Do you know what? Actually, the only thing redeemable about Paul Ricard being in the F1 calendar is that it's not as shit as Monaco. That's the only thing it's got going for it. And look, people know my hatred of Suzuka. Right? As a track to drive, as a track to watch, it's brilliant. As a track to drive, I hate it. Right? But that is surpassed in some significant way by my hatred for Paul Ricard. It's a stupid racetrack. It's poorly designed. It looks like a cat's been sick on some tarmac and then someone's drawn their finger through it trying to clear it up with some tissue. there's nothing redeeming about Paul Ricard. Oh, of course, and it's in France. And I apologise to any French people out there watching. Nothing personal. Just don't like France particularly much. And there's nothing you really do about it because if I say boo, you just stick your hands up and surrender. Yes, so there we go. That's where we are next week. So there will be lots of insults flying around about the racetrack next week. Then we are off to Bahrain to finish out the season. And what a place to finish the season. Bahrain's a great racetrack. And I've yet to see some bad racing there. Safety car is in this lap. What did you say, Herb? I said it's in this lap. It's the end of the safety car. So Dunner's in the lead of this race. Hasn't pit yet. Let's see who has. Everybody bar the top four of Dunner's, Connor, Mad Max, Blumjump, and Beckett down in 11th. Everybody else has been in the pits at least once, has utilised this safety car to change out their tyres. Biggest winner of those, though, is going to be Joseph, because he was on the soft compound tyres when he went in, and will have his, and it was bang in his fucking pit window at the time. So there we go, let's go on board with him, because he's on the mediums now, and we're going to see, as the safety car will peel off, it's already starting to pull away, it will go straight on here, it's gone straight on, Dunners will take us round the corner, he is now the safety car, he decides when we go, of course. Has he started racing? It looks like he might have done because everybody else has gone quick. And off he goes. We are green flag and go, go, go. And it is Dunners from Connor, from Mad Max, from Blumjump, from Joseph. Riley in 6th place. Bear in mind, the top four have not yet pit. No penalties to speak of. Position changes, that's what you need to look at though. Dunners up 9, Connor up 11, Mad Max also up 11, but none of them are pit. You've got to bear that in mind when you're considering this. Yeah, they're all big gains in a minute. And a lot of people lost places. Other than those top three, Joseph and Grimy, everybody else is either lost places or done what things which is done, which is being exactly started. That's the best you can hope for, then do it. Don't lose places. If you know you're going to lose places, your aim should be to finish where you started. I do want to point out, while we're race section, I want to point out, and I'll do it in a bit. When it's quiet, I've got something new to introduce to you that's coming up Black Flag. Starting from next week. It's nearly ready to go, nearly ready. I just haven't edited the first video, which I'm currently in the process of editing it. It's going to be a once a week thing. So Grimy up 6 places now. Top 4 of all going places. Joseph already gained 1 place up into the top 5. Blumjump still to stop. Has lost out to Joseph. He's going very, very quickly. There's your race leader in the Aston Martin. He's got his teammate Connor with him. The 2 Aston Martins, 1st and 2nd. Joseph already up to 3rd now, makes the move on Mad Max and the Alpine. He is going super, super quick. And bear in mind, he has bit. The 2 guys he's just overtaken have not. The 2 guys in front of him have not. Now, they may be just one stop in this race. And if they are, we'll see how it pans out. They'll have to go to the hard tyres. Joseph might be, well, in fact, if he started on the soft compound tyres, he absolutely is 2 stop in this race. Those behind are on the mediums, probably also 2 stopping. But going for softs at the end, maybe, which could mix things up a little tad. Lap 10 of 28. We're at Shanghai, China. We're with Late Night Racing League. This is round number 10 at China, at Shanghai. The current championship leader is in the lead of this race. He is the reigning champion. He is the current championship leader, and he's in the Aston Martin Cognizant. They are not the constructors champion. He was double constructors and champion, drivers champion, whatever. Last year. This year he's not. The Ferraris of Blumchum and Moggy currently lead the way in the constructors championship. Fingers driving the Red Bull car as a reserve. So the points will go to Red Bull, not to Fingers in the scheme of things. But I'm sure there'll be a full-time seat for him next season, so he can drive around at the back. And you know what? It's good to see someone else at the back, especially someone that I like and respect. You wouldn't think I do, by the way, I talk about him, but I've known the guy many, many years, and I can call him a twat because as I can. And then there is Joseph with the fastest lap in third place, of course. What else would you expect by someone that's on the charge? Now, pit window. We've got to start thinking about when these medium tyre runners are going to come in. If they're going to maintain their one-stop strategy, they should be probably looking at what we've got. We've got 17 laps left. I think anywhere between sort of lap 12 and lap 15 is really as far as you can push those medium tyres. If you start on the hard tyres, of course, you can go a little bit longer, out to sort of lap 17, 18. You don't really need to take them that long. You want to be on the softer, more malleable, grippier tyre for as long as feasibly possible. So I think hard tyre runners should be looking, I think medium tyres should be looking around now. Sorry, lap 15 to go in. Hard tyre runners should be probably giving themselves a bit longer on the mediums if they can, and going in around lap 13, 14-ish, there or thereabouts. Depending on, of course, how well you've looked after your those aforementioned tyres. But done at the moment, 1.8 seconds clear, and keeping it that way. Connor in the other Aston Martin is at the moment holding Joseph on baby, but for how long? Because here comes Joseph on a charge. He's looking round the outside, going for the switcheroo. Yes, he is. Did it work? Yes, it did. Briefly, side by side, but he has given up. The inside line to Connor here, and Connor will take that inside line, go for the other switcheroo. Joseph has to back off. Maybe he should have gone the other way. So around the outside to have the inside line there. He's got the run on him this time though. Here he goes into this ever decreasing speed corner. Really, really odd corner this. There he goes, and that is a great overtake there from Joseph. Not many people are going to make the overtake into turn 1 at Shanghai, unless you've got big, dangly brass balls, and Joseph certainly has those. Connor back to third place. Joseph's next target is going to be, of course, Dunners. Whether he can get it or not is another matter. Grimy into the pits, all the way down to 14th and last place. Mr. J is our only DNF from this race so far, as we are on lap 12 of 28 at Shanghai. Bimmer Guy running in 5th place. He was pole sitter for the first race. Has worked his way up the order a couple of places. Top 5 all gainers. Big gains for Connor and Mad Max. Bear in mind that some of them haven't beat yet though. In fact, of those that haven't pit, only Joseph and Grimy have gained a position in this race. So I don't know what to suggest about it. Does that, you know, once Dunners and Joseph, Dunners and Connor, Dunners and Connors and Bimmers and Mad Maxes, once they all go in, yeah, there's going to be a few that will regain places they've lost, but they're not going to regain the 7s and the 4s and the 9s. Well, that, I mean, the 9 there for Wolsey, and there he is running in 10th place. There was him, there was Riley, there was the 2 Ferraris of Moggy and Blumchum, all going down into turn 1, with them in first, second, third, Riley back in 4th. And something happened between them. It may have been coming together, whatever happened, but they were cars facing the wrong way, and they were all in a little bit of a tiz, and through went everybody, and that changed this. And Blumchum has been disqualified for being parked in a dangerous location. Yeah, you can't park that there, mate. Clearly can't park that there. Don't know what happened though. I don't know if he's stuck in the wall there, and I imagine that's actually the case. Yes, I think Blumchum is stuck in the wall, and that's brought about another safety car. And I'll tell you what, late night racing loves Burt Mylander, because late night racing has seen a lot of Burt Mylander over the last few weeks. He is a very popular guy around these parts because he drives almost as much on the track as the actual racers do. So, another safety car. Time to blow my over. Apologies. So, as we're on the safety car, let's check the back of the safety car, shall we? Does pick it up shortly. Broadcast cam for him. Or is it a virtual safety car? Because I can't actually see the yellow safety car. May only be a VSC. I know I do see it right there after turn 1. Yeah, so I was going to talk about something new to Black Flag. I'm going to have there's a couple of things to do. One is going to be I can't hear properly because I'm down the nose. One is going to be like a weekly race week kind of thing, kind of like Sky Sports Newsroom or something along those lines. A little kind of 15-minute segment once a week, just going over results of that week. Because, you know, we do now cater for so many different racing groups and racing leagues across 2 games. It will be 3 games coming in the middle of next year. We're the middle of this year. We'll talk about that later. I've got something coming up basically, so I'm not going to talk about it yet. Yeah, so we've got so much stuff going on, not just for Black Flag, but across many different platforms. So we're going to have a little race week, and we'll have a little segment there where we'll interview somebody from one of the leagues to talk about how things went that week and that kind of thing. So we've got that coming up. That's going to start in February. Not quite ready for that yet. I've got a bit of setting up to do for that. We've also got new to Black Flag. It's going to be a little segment which I'm going to participate in, which is called Dickhead Daily Drivers of the Week. And anyone that drives a GT7 that has done daily races will find that across the lobbies there are a number of absolute melts that drive like their mum taught them to drive in the car park of an Audi while she was drinking White Lightning. And really just don't give a shit. Would you believe errors in the lead of this race? Okay, just point it out. And because I'm a D/C driver, I get to see a lot of these in these daily lobbies. So I have started to compile a little show reel of some of these absolute weapons in action. And I thought it would be a really interesting thing to maybe show these absolute melts all over YouTube. So we're going to have a little segment once a week where I just do a little montage of any melts people come across on the daily races. And feel free to submit any to me. And you know what? We can even do it for F1. So if you've got video footage of someone driving like a knob jockey, whether it be in a league race or whatever, and you want them to be added to Dickhead Driver of the Week, absolutely submit them. And at the end of each show, I will nominate one to get the overall award for being the biggest of all, the king of all dickheads. That's the money segment coming up. And yeah, I'm hoping that will take off to be something short-worthy. So you'll diving across TikTok and see the occasional video of that week's biggest dickhead. I originally was going to call it Bellends of the Black Stuff, but the name Bellends is reserved for one person only online, and he knows who he is. And anyone that watches enough streams knows who he is. But there we go. So, where are we? We're over halfway distance, 15 laps we've done so far around Shinar. I still insist that we should be allowed to be on the safety car during a safety car procedure, but we can't. This is how the order looks. It is Dunners from Joseph and Connor, Bimmerguy, Moggy, Mad Max, Riley, Ryan, Grimy, Wolsey, Beckett, Fingers, and Error now at the back of the pack. He was there first briefly, but he didn't pit. Now he has pit. He is at the back. Such a shame. Love seeing him up near the business end. We've lost Mr. J, and we've lost, more importantly, Blumchum disqualification. It looked to me that he got stuck in the wall. Now, was it stuck in the wall because he hit it really hard and just got stuck, or was it stuck in the wall because it was a little glitch in the matrix? Sorry, I'm differentiating between the honey and lemon and the Pepsi, because honey and lemon actually taste like dog ass, but it is good for your voice, good for your throat. So there's your full rundown. We only had 15 4. We started off with 14, got 15. Safety car in this lap. We're going to go on board with who's going to be quick. Let's get the tyres up. Let's see what tyres people have gone for. Right, Dunners has gone for the soft tyres, which I think is a wise choice. Bearing in mind that Joseph and Connor behind him on the hards. He probably wouldn't have known that when he went in, but that's where they are. So I'm switching ears because my left ear's box and I can't hear my monitor very well. A monitor is in like output, not monitor is in like screen. So there we go. Let's go on board with Bimmerguy in 4th place. He is on the hard compound tyre. Will they go to the end? Absolutely they will from here. Lap 15 and 28. So hard tyre runners won't need to stop again. Soft tyre runners will. Medium tyres probably will as well. That might be alright actually. Medium tyre runners should be okay from here. But if you're on the softs, you are going to have to stop again. So it's important for Dunners to build up a big gap if it's possible to pull away from Joseph. You know, we can sing his praises all you like, but that is very smart from Dunners. Could have gone early there, didn't, backed everybody up, then did, but he didn't really catch them napping. The only one he really caught napping there was Bimmerguy. The other two were wide to his shenanigans, were having none of his shit, and they are on it like a car bonnet. So here we go. It is Dunners leads out Joseph. He's on the soft compound tyres. His job, and his only job, over these next 3 or 4 laps, before he loses the grip in those soft tyres, is to build a gap. Gap. It is going to be pedal to metal. There is no tyre saving. There is no fuel saving. There is just Dunners and speed. That's the only way he's going to win this race. Joseph, his only job is to just preserve those tyres a little bit. Make sure the hard tyres make it to the end. But do not let Dunners pull out that gap. You've got to stick with him. You've got to keep up that pace. You've got to close the gap if you can. At least if you can't close it, don't let it be big enough that he can disappear after a pit stop. The other problem, of course, is that Dunners could possibly go soft at the end of this race, which could be a problem if the gap is big enough. There is Bimmerguy. He is on the hard compound tyres. Again, his job, if you can't keep up with Joseph, is to make sure he keeps away from Moggy. And despite the early lap 1 shenanigans, Moggy finds himself in the top 4. Ahead, ironically, of the guy who survived those shenanigans and was in first place, which is Riley, down in 6th place. He's on the hard compound tyre, so will find himself a little bit vulnerable to like Mad Max and to Riley. There is Mad Max chasing down Moggy right now. He's on the medium compound tyre. As Dunners puts in a 1:35.8. Nice quick lap. Already put up a 1.7 second gap. Not big enough though for a pit window just yet. There's Riley. Did lead this race after lap 1 when all the shenanigans were going on behind him. Now down in 6th place on the medium tyres. 3 laps old. Going to have a little bit of life in them for a while. Then we've got Ryan in 7th place. Again, another one from the first race who started out so well and just seems to have dropped off a little bit in the Alpine. He's just half a second back from Riley. Grimy, 1.4 seconds back, starting at the very back of the pack. He's on the hard compound tyre. He's going to be vulnerable to Beckett very soon. Beckett on those soft tyres in the AlphaTauri is going to be closing up on Grimy and wanting some of what he's got. And what he's got that Beckett wants is 8th place. Once Beckett's got that, he's going to want something new. It's the perpetual desire of man to want a little bit better than you've got every single time. Apologies for a second, I blow my nose because I'm coming again. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, so Beckett chasing down Grimy. Can he catch him? He's on the medium soft tyres. Grimy's on the hards. He should be getting him through the corners. Error up to 10th place. He's in that top 10. Heroics of race number 1 got him into 2nd. Can Heroics in race number 2 get him anywhere further up the order? He's got a penalty to serve. Now DRS is enabled. Now Beckett can really put the screws on to Grimy. And it won't have it this time round, but he will have it on the next lap. Or the next DRS zone, should I say. There's 2 DRS zones here at China. One in Sector 3, the other one in Sector 3. Or 3/1. Mostly in Sector 1. Very nearly. He had to pull out of that. Very nearly into the back of Grimy. That's how much Quicket. That's how much quicker Becker is. That's how much quicker Beckett is on those soft tyres. That he very nearly puts a big hole in the back of the Mercedes of Grimy with that AlphaTauri. Apologies for that, but it just popped. Don't you say that? And there is Grimy really kind of abusing the track limits there and using a completely different line through a line that was so different that nobody before has thought of that, apart from the guy that uses the lawnmower. Spin, sugar! And round goes Grimy. Where's Error? There goes Error. Phew! And fingers, does he get through? No, because he's like 6 months behind. But Grimy, round and round he went. Now he's back on the track. That's what happens when you abuse track limits. It makes you spin. So Beckett didn't need to make the overtake. It was done for him. Grimy didn't want to worry about the overtake himself. He just thought, I'll get out of the way. And by doing that, I will spin round. So, leader of the race. 2.7 seconds is done as lead. Doing exactly what he needs to do. How big can he build the gap? Well, we'll see. Now, I suppose he could tyre manage these softs to the end of the race. Not going to happen. I can tell you now, look, for all my lack of skill and my limited knowledge of tyre mechanics, they ain't fucking lost at the end of this race. And if they do, give that man a big fat fucking trophy right now that just says Tyre King. In fact, he should be sponsored. If he takes it to the end, he should be sponsored by Quick Fit. There we go. In fact, what will happen is, if he takes this size to the end that he shouldn't do, I'm going to ring my mate that works for Quick Fit, and I'm going to say, you've got to check this guy out and sponsor him. Because if you don't sponsor him, he's never going to buy another tyre again. There we go. So he's in the lead of this race. There is Joseph. Currently being best of the rest is Joseph. He's on the hard compound tyre. Not all he can really do when the guy in front of you is so quick and on soft compound tyres. But he's not dropping Bimmerguy either. So for all the pace that we know that Joseph's got, Bimmerguy is keeping up with him. The Canadian really doing a fantastic job in the AlphaTauri today. Both him and Beckett have been pretty darn quick. Although Beckett's struggling a little bit in this race. He's made a couple of places up, but he's down in 8th place. He's on the soft compound tyre. Probably going to have to pit again. Moggy. Oi, oi, oi. He was up in the top 4. He was racing with Blumchum. He was racing with Riley. He was racing with Woolsey. And then it all went wrong at turn 1. Him and his teammate Blumchum and Woolsey all decided to have a little dilly-dally-dally. And that put them down the order. That allowed Riley to disappear off into the distance. But how things change over a 28-lap race. Although we're only 20 laps into it, of course. Now Moggy back in the top 4. His teammate Blumchum, he is DSQ. He buried his car into a wall and got it stuck and got disqualified for as like an additional bonus. As like, here's you in a wall, that's a fuck you. And here's you stuck in a wall, here's another fuck you. And here you get disqualified for being stuck in a wall. It's like a triple fuck you whammy that he got, and he's disqualified from this race. And of course, Woolsey, who's also involved in it, hasn't really recovered. He's down in 11th place. Riley lost some places, he's down in 6th. Mad Max. He's called Mad Max because he's mental, and his name is Max. And he was born in the year 8775. He is a time traveller. Some of that is not entirely true. It's half a second back from Moggy. Just half a second. He's on the medium tyres. So he should be putting that Ferrari driver under a little bit of pressure as this race ramps up towards the end. If he can keep those medium tyres in the game, of course. There's Riley, we're just talking about. He's in 6th place, also the medium tyres. He's really, I think his problem is going to be not getting around Mad Max ahead. It's going to be defending from Beckett behind. Beckett on the soft compound tyres is going to give it some. Now again, it's the same question I've got with Dunners, is whether this guy can take these soft tyres to the end. I don't think the soft tyres have 16 laps in them. If they did, more people would have started on them. And that's my concern, that these guys are going to have to stop again. Now, I think they're going to take it to the point where they can run softs again. They've both run other compounds, so that's not really an issue. I'm not entirely convinced though. Look, if they do take them to the end, I'll put my hands up and go, fuck me, you're good. But what if they do? Error up to 9th place. Now could benefit from Beckett needing to pit and move up another place. And this will be, if that's the case, a really good day. I mean, it's already a great day of racing for Haas, and particularly for Error. But what an achievement if it could be a top 3 and a top 10 for Error in that Haas today. What an achievement. Grimy from the back of the pack jumped in, hadn't qualified, didn't do race number 1, jumped straight in that AMG Mercedes Petronas into 9th place. And Dunners into the pits as we thought he would. That promotes Joseph into the lead. What about... where is he? Beckett? Has he got in yet? He hasn't. So Dunners is behind Beckett. Is he out of the picture? Just coming out now. Where's Error? Does Error get through? Error does get through. He's going to have to hold off the old rushing Dunners. He's only going to be 7/10 behind him. But yeah, it's looking... Well, Grimy through as well. So, how about that? So Dunners gets out in 9th place for the lead of this race. That was a costly pit stop. Those soft compound tyres, but he is on the softs. He can go hardcore, and you're not hardcore unless you drive hardcore, and he's going to do exactly that. Beckett, he's going to be next in the pits. Dunners has had to go in. If Dunners can't do it, Beckett can't do it. At least that's my honest belief. They're both in the similar sort of lapping pace. In fact, we can actually look at that. Let's have a little look and see. Well, actually, I lied. 35.8 for Dunners, 37.0 for Beckett. So about 1.2 seconds difference in their lapping, in their fastest lap anyway. But that said, still, he's better. So Joseph in the lead of this race on the hard compound tyres. It's lap 22, 28 here at Shanghai. Bimmerguy running in 2nd place. Good performance all round today from the Canadian driver. He's got some DRS in behind Joseph. Can he make the move on him? And surprisingly, Joseph is normally so difficult to catch once he's in the lead, but he hasn't been able to pull away. I had a little touch there from Bimmerguy. He does let him go. That was very good sportsmanship from Bimmerguy. You know what I would have done? I would have done the same thing, to be honest. I wouldn't have gone on that road. Because if he had done it, it would have been a big punishment. But he did absolutely the right thing. He was quicker than him, gave him a little love tap, but did exactly what is the sportsman thing to do and allowed Joseph to continue on before he put his foot down. What that has done, though, that's put Bimmerguy vulnerable to Moggy. And there is Moggy in 3rd place, closing down on Bimmerguy now. He wasn't that close before, and Moggy wasn't... Look, if you'd said to Moggy, at the end of lap 1, after that madness with Wolsey and with his teammate Glumchum, come lap 23, you're going to be in 3rd place, with a potential challenging for 2nd, and maybe even 1st, he would have gone, shut up, you mug, or something along those lines. Whatever, I don't know where he's from, I think he's from the UK. Depends where the UK is from. You don't say that he's from London. He's from North Europe. What? Yeah, that's how everybody in North speaks. Or something along those lines. But right now he is running in 3rd, and Bimmerguy should be very frail. Mad Max in 4th place. He's on the medium tyres. He's not, as you would have thought, being on better tyres, putting any kind of massive dent into the hard tyre runners out in front. That could be because the medium tyres are just not holding out, or it could be because he's just not quick enough. Riley in 5th place. He gained a place from before, but he's got penalty. That's going to be 3 seconds of hell. He's going to have to build out the gap from Error. Sorry, it's Error that's got a penalty. Error up to the dizzy heights of 6th place as Dunners puts in 1:35. So target number 1 for him is Error. Error is 1 second up the road. Fingers with a penalty, multiple warnings. One thing I will say for Fingers, he doesn't crash out very often apart from qualifying. That's the first thing. There's the move on Error. Error up into, down in 7th place. He's kind of up into 7th place from the start position. Okay, next target for Dunners is 11 seconds up the road. That's a big ask with just 4 laps remaining. Is he capable? Lap time saying he is, but it's a big ask. Beckett was the other one on the soft compound tyres that held it out there for a while. He has got 9 seconds to make up, ironically, on an Alfa Romeo as well. So do these 2 soft tyre runners close down on an Alfa Romeo and take that position? Yeah, it was pretty brutal, mate. So there we go. So we how many have we lost? We've lost Blumchum, we've lost Mr. J, we've lost Ryan. Thank you for the kind words, Ryan. Great stream. I kind of tried to make them interesting. I want people to come back and watch them again, or at least watch them once and want to watch another one. It's kind of what we do. I mean, you run a quite successful YouTube channel, so you would know that it's all about entertaining the watchers and giving them a reason to come back, right? I'm hoping the reason they come back to listen to me is because I've got a potty mouth and I fuck things up. But there we go, and I'm full of commentators curse. Well, today I'm just full of cold. Right, so let's have a rundown from the back of the pack. There is Fingers 27. I can't be. You know what? I can't be bothered to insult today. I'm too full of cold. I'm not going to insult you today, Daryl. We can stay friends for another week. 4.9 seconds is the gap to Connor. 21.7 seconds is his gap to Beckett. Beckett on the soft compound tyres. If Connor catches him, oh, there we go. Fingers is another, did not finish. Is that going to leave this race to finish on a safety car? What did he do? Just as soon as we flicked off him, I said I wasn't going to insult him. Maybe he needs the fucking insults. I'm going to insult him now because you fucked up the end of this race, you knob. Because now you've crashed, it's going to be finished on the safety car. So we're not going to see anyone chasing anyone down. You better hope that we've got at least a lap of racing. To be fair, I don't think you're right about that, Paul, because you had that one stream that went properly viral. That was a glitchy one where it just went through the roof. Your content is better than you think, mate. It really is. It's really, really cool. Go and check. In fact, everybody, go and check out while we're on a safety car. Go and check out PM10's page, right, and do a couple of his challenges. Do it immediately, and if you don't, I'm not going to do fuck all, but I'm going to send Paul to your house. No, in fact, I'm going to send TJ around your house with a strapper. Yeah, so going back to what I was saying about Fingers. Ian is around the corner from me. If we don't get a little bit of racing after this because he crashed his car, I'm going to cock punch him. Because I was looking forward to watching Dunners and Beckett on the charge. Although, saying that, why is Beckett going in the pits? He's got soft tyres on. Why is he going in the pits? I don't get it. Unless he's got damage, I don't understand why he's going in. He must have damage. His tyres were alright to the end of this race. Unnecessary, I think. You stay out there, you're taking a position on Wolsey, you're closing up on Grimy, you're up behind the safety car, you get one lap of racing left, you've possibly got an opportunity to smash this, but he's cost himself a place. If the safety car stays out, you're screwed, man. Although it is going back in. So Fingers is not going to get punched in the cock today. Joseph has not been able to pull out a lead. It's only half a second. Bimmerguy, Mad Max, Riley, and Dunners especially. That 10 seconds Dunners couldn't make up. Now he can. Can he? In these last 2 laps. Bear in mind, we're only going to have exactly 2 laps. The safety car will head down to the end of this straight. It will go round to the right hand side as everyone follows, but it will pull ahead and go straight on at the end of the final turn into the pits. And then we have literally 2 laps, 3 minutes left of some balls out, back to back, arse raping. I can't think of a better expression. Arse raping, probably the wrong one to use. Just massive balls out racing. Let's scratch that arse raping thing. It's not going to happen. Here we go. Joseph's going to lead them out. He's going to be the de facto safety car for a brief moment. Gets his foot down. Remember, he's on the hard compound tyres, as is Bimmerguy. He's got 2 medium tyre runners behind. Dunner's already made 1 position up. There he goes. Can he make it 2 wins from 2? What a performance from him. What about Error? Error's losing a place. He's up into 7th. Come on, Error. Can he hold on? He's got some fast guys behind him on some very, very good tyres. Here goes Dunners, who's trying to close up on Mad Max. Half a second is the difference. Mad Max just 4 tenths behind Bimmerguy. These 2 out in front on the hard compound tyres are in a little bit of trouble here, I think, because they've got faster guys behind. And it's going to take some major concentration to keep in this race at this time. Dunners needs to get 1 more on this lap, just giving him 2 to chase down on the next. We're coming now into sector 3. You can Dunners make one more overtake here. Got a great run on the Alpine. And as they head down towards his left-hander, he's got the inside line. The Alpine just trying to defend. But this is where Dunners, if he's got the right exit, it's all over for the Alpine of Mad Max. And he does get a decent run out the Alpine, actually. But is it enough to keep Dunners at bay? Dunners is only 3/10 back. And no DRS. He's got to do this the old-fashioned one with slipstream and skill. And the slipstream is very, very strong. He goes round the outside. It's bye-bye, Max. And the Alpine has to concede that corner. And here we go. Dunners is going off now after Bimmerguy. 1.3 seconds is the gap to Bimmerguy. Bimmerguy chasing down Joseph as well. It is on like Donkey Kong. And Error holding off in 8th place. This is the final lap of the race. It is Joseph leading the way as Wolsey puts in a 1:35.0 to steal that fastest lap of the race. Was that why Beckett put on the soft tyres? Does he think he can nick that point for the fastest lap? Well, he actually would have got more points for finishing higher than the fastest lap would have given him, and it kind of makes stupid idea to start going for the fastest lap. And actually, here's my opinion on the fastest lap point. If you have to go in, and I mean this is real F1, if you go into the pits to put on tyres to get the fastest lap, you can't fucking have it. You've got to do it on your race tyres. Stop being a cock. That's all I'm saying about that. Here we go. Right, so this is Dunners, 1.2 seconds back. I don't think there's enough time. Unless he can get closer coming out of this turn here, he's not going to do this. It's going to be Joseph from Bimmerguy from Dunners as the top 3. I'm not saying it's not a great performance from Dunners, but I expected more. Moggy up into 4th place. That's a good recovery from him, actually. Driver of the day, it's a hard one. I mean, if we look at position gained, you got to look at Mad Max. You got to look at Grimy, both great positions gained. But I think Dunners, I think Dunners is driver of the day for me. Over the course of both races as well, I think he's been the best of all of them. There is Joseph. Rounds that second to last corner. Heads down towards the DRS detection zone. Not that it makes a blind bit of difference because he's in 1st place. He'll round that corner. He will win here. The Shanghai Grand Prix in China. Bimmerguy comes home in 2nd. Dunners in 3rd. Moggy in 4th. Mad Max comes home in 5th. A. Riley in 6th. Grimy in 7th. Error will come home in 8th. How close were all them not? Wolsey will bring it home eventually when he gets there in 9th place with the fastest lap to his name. Beckett's home in 10th. And Connor will come home in 11th. Excuse me. But there you go. There's the man of the hour. There's the man that matters. For this race, we lost Fingers, we lost Ryan, we lost Mr. J, and we lost Blumchum. Blumchum got disqualified after driving the wall in what looks like getting stuck. So no real fault. Well, I suppose crash was the wall before it was on. Unless it wasn't, of course. So we've had frills, we've had spills. I won't deny that I think Mad Max did well in that race, but I still think Dunners deserves it. You've got to look over the course of 2 races to say, yeah. But, it is what it is. There's your winner, and Joseph does pick up another great result. He usually wins when he races, but he hasn't raced a huge amount this season, which is why he's not on the top of the leaderboard. But yeah, super racing. As PM10 said, bang on. Very, very good. Right to the last. I'm loving this F1 stuff. But this is the thing. I need more GT7 stuff because at the moment F1's giving me all the action, and GT7 is only Black Flag row. There is some stuff coming out actually. We need to talk about. There is a charity event. It's not our charity event this time. It's with Amigos Racing Team, and they're raising money for a couple of Amigos drivers that actually are touched by cancer at the moment. Some debate. I might be streaming for them, but they might just have me racing instead for a change. Watch this space. I'll tell you about it. But any Black Flag guys watching, you are getting involved. It's not going to be an optional thing. I'm going to cancel all racing for that day, and as many of you that would normally race on that day will be doing this event with ART. It's a matter. I know that we do charity things, we don't necessarily get involved too much, but this is a big thing because 2 of them are actually suffering. Hey, look, we know it touches us as well, but there are 2 that are right now raising money for But we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it in Discord. So there we go. That's all done and dusted. Joseph is your winner as he returns back to the fold on the PC. Bimmerguy in the AlphaTauri from Canada comes in second. Good day for him. Dunners from Aston Martin extends his lead at the top of the championship with just 2 races to go. And that is going to be at Paul Ricard and then Bahrain. Moggy for Ferrari in 4th. Mad Max for Alpine in 5th. How far can we get? Riley for Alfa Romeo in 6th. Grimy from Mercedes in 7th. 8th is Era from Haas. Great day for Era. Best day ever. Wolsey for Alfa Romeo in 9th. And then some other people after that. Well, how about that? So that is round 10 at China done and dusted. We return next week for the penultimate round at Paul Ricard in France. My very, very favourite circuit of all the circuits in the entire world. Not true. Absolutely not true. But all that's left to say really is thank you very much for joining me. Tomorrow from 7:45, do come back here for the Black Flag Open GR3 Season 2 starts. And not only is it Season 2, we've got 2 lobbies for Season 2, because at the moment we are sitting at about 23 people entered into that. So Season 2 is going to be fantastic. Then we, and you can check out below that, of course, Thursday we've got the Black Flag Rivals. That's round 1 in Brazil, you can check out there from Thursday from 8:45, following the Smoking Pirelli's F1 race, which is nice and early. Round 2 of Rivals, and then that is the Impreza versus the Evo. Really, really cool. But all I have to say is thank you for joining me. Great day for Dunners, great day for Era, great day all round for everyone. It's really good racing all round. But this has been LNR Racing, LNR F1 in fact, and it's Tuesday night, and this has been round 10. I've been Owen Pirate, this has been Black Flag Racing TV. Look forward to seeing you very, very soon for more sim racing.